Okay, everybody, welcome to school. Today is Monday and it's the 14th. So, guess what we're going to be doing today? We're going to be making old Colonial Christmas cards, and it is going to be worth points. It's going to be worth 10 points to you, and so it should be fun and it's an easy 10 points. So, let's make sure that we do it right. All right, first of all, I'm going to show you a couple of things that you're going to need. Okay, first, probably going to need some scissors. Second, colored pencils. Third, some type of glue, like probably a glue stick would be better, or you got your old Elmer's glue right here. This one gets a little messy. This one a lot better, but if this is all you have, use it sparingly. Don't put a lot on, okay? No tape. Tape looks terrible. All right, another thing you're going to need is maybe one of these. Do you have a hole puncher? If you don't, that's okay, but if you do, it'll add a little bit. If you have a hole puncher, see if around the house you have some string or you have something like this. This is just some old fabric, some ribbon. If you have something like this, that'll work too. All right. Also, a pen. A pen. Not a pencil, a pen. Okay. You can start with pencil, but you can have trace it with a pen. All right. Now, you might wonder, what in the world am I even talking about? Well, let me show you a couple examples because examples always show you what you can do. First of all, I'm going to put some on there on Google Classroom. I'm going to put some examples on that you can actually look close up to, okay? But I'm going to show you the ones that I took pictures of. This is the first one. I made this a long time ago, all right? I cut this picture, believe it or not, out of an ad that came in the house. It was an ad, okay? It's just an old manger. It says Merry Christmas or Christmas on it. Actually, it says Christmas 1999. I don't want you to have the 1999, so, but I just happen to have the only picture I had. Now I put this ribbon around it, and I'm going to show you a little bit how you can do that if you have a hole puncher and some ribbon. If you don't need to. But you see how the picture is kind of in the center of the card? So you can have your card this way, or you can eventually have it this way. Um, Let me show you this first. Here's one that goes a different way. Got a little puppy there. It's old time school. Okay, so we're looking for things from around 17, 1800s. Definitely 17, 1800s right here. This picture. Can you see a little bit closer? All right, they're having a feast there. Now, if you didn't have a picture and you don't have a printer, your printer's broken already. Some of you told me, oh, my printer's broken. What am I supposed to do? Well, then you're going to have to draw something. All right. So if you can draw like this, maybe you can, maybe you can. I mean, I think even I can draw like that. And you know I can't draw. So you can try. If you can't draw as well, here's somebody that drew as well as they could. It's a horse. I don't know what that had to do with Christmas, but they liked horses and they drew it. So it's the thought that counts. Merry Christmas, right? Thought that counts. All right, so there's a couple examples that you can look at and that you can follow. And let me show you what's on the inside. All right, that's the important thing. We're going to be using old time words. Old time words. All right. So the inside of mine, there's that ribbon again. I drew a little something up in the corner. I told you I can't draw, but it looks pretty good. So let me read to you what I wrote here. Greetings. That's always a good start. I pray thou hast a blessed Christmas. Old time stuff. May our heavenly Lord grant thee a speedy answer to all thy prayers this season, respectfully, or your daughter or your son, whatever it might be. I'm going to give you a list of old words, and I want you to use those old words in there. So when you show me this card, you're going to take a picture of it, send it to me. I want to see it. I want to see your card. All right. I want you to go like this, and then I want you to go like this. All right, so that I can see it. If I can see that you've done that, 10 points. If you don't, well, then you don't get 10 points. If you only get half it, then you get 5 points. Now, what if I don't have the ribbon? Well, if you don't have the ribbon, that's fine. I'm looking for this, and I'm looking for this. Okay, and then it's neat. So it's 5 points. All right. Now, should I read another one? I will read another one. Let me see here. I have another one here. Now, this was done in longhand. So in other words, you're going to write these. You're going to write these. This is not you're going to print something out. You're actually going to write the words. Greetings. Uh, Thank thee and hope thee has a Merry Christmas. Blessed is your house in the name of God. Sincerely, there you go. Sincerely. So you kind of get the idea how we're going to do it. So we're going to go through this step at a time. That way you can pause me and say, what in the world was he doing? Let's go backwards and see what he did all over again. So, as I take just a little bit of a break here for a second, get a little bit of this. I'm going to be right back and we are going to get started. So what I want you to do while I take a sip of this is to go and find a piece of computer paper, unless you have color paper. So if you have color paper, that's great. Construction paper, we can cut it up. If you have computer paper, that's good too. So I'll be back in just a second. We're going to start this card. Okay, I'm back. So I hope you have your paper. Let me see. We need to get a couple pieces of paper so we can see what we're doing. If you have a piece of paper like this, that's fine. If you have a piece of paper like this, which is a little bit more colorful, that's fine too. So we're going to show you both ways. First thing I want you to do is this. Fold your paper in half. Make a little book, just like this. Just like this. Now, you have to understand that it opens up like a book. Or if it's like this, it opens up this way. All right. So either way. All right. So I'm going to make mine with a piece of green paper. And we're going to fold this in half like this. I think I'm going to bring this down just a little bit so you can see. All right. So here's our book. It's going to open up just like this. All right. That's the first part. Now, next part is find a picture. Find a picture. Do you have any pictures? You were supposed to look for some pictures over the weekend. So I'm going to show you what's going to happen if you go to Google and you go to images, look for old Christmas. Old Christmas. A lot of pictures come up. Just says old Christmas. You have to watch when you print them out because they may come out like this. Too big. Way too big. Unless you're wrapping this whole thing around. It's too big. All right, so we don't want that one. It may come out like this. Too small. Way too small. All right, so you don't want this. If you try to change it, it doesn't change. So you can try to change the picture size, it doesn't change it. I know I tried. Now this is a 5x7. This came out is just right. Just right. Also, if you don't want to do that, if you happen to have an old Christmas card laying around, you can do this. Just cut it off. It's a picture. It's perfect size. So what we're looking for, if you were going this size, is to kind of get this in the middle. That's what we like right here. All right. Or let's take this one. And we're going to cut this right now. All right. I should have my glasses on because I don't know if I'll cut it straight. But we'll do it. Okay. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of a border around it. A little bit of a border. Okay. So when you cut this, let's cut it. Should I do this way? I can always trim off more, but I can't put more on. So we're going to leave a little bit of a border, try to cut it as straight as possible. Same border all the way around. All right, you see what I'm doing so far? See how the border is? Cut this off so I get this out of the way. Almost done. Look at that. All right, so I've got a border around it. It's all the way around. Throw any scraps away. I always keep my area clean. There you go. All right, so this is going to fit on our card like this. Now, if you want to leave room to write something, you can. You can write Merry Christmas or just leave the card the way it is. So I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Now, what do I do next? Well, I'm going to glue this on here. I'm going to choose the glue stick. The glue stick. I'm going to glue this on here. So go ahead, if you have your picture, get your paper ready like this, and go ahead and glue that on there right now. All right, I put my glasses on so I can actually see. And I glued this on here. It's nice. Now, when you glue it on there, you only have a certain amount of time to move it around. If it's not perfectly straight the way you want it, take it off and redo it. Take it off and redo it, all right? So, we have our picture on there. Now, if you're going to put a ribbon on, I'm going to show you how to put that ribbon on, okay? So, take your hole puncher. Now, you're going to go all the way around, and you're going to want to space it out. This hole puncher goes in only on this side where the picture is. Don't go all the way through. You'll have holes all the way around everywhere. Now, you're going to have some holes around a little bit, but I want you just to go where there's no holes at all. So, go all the way in like this. Go all the way in. Put yourself about halfway in that gap. Poke a hole. Whoop, come on now. Go down about an inch, all the way up. Poke a hole. Go down about an inch, all the way around. Poke a hole. So let's see how many we can do here. Sometimes they stick. And I'm going to get one right about here. All right, so you see where I'm at? See the holes I'm at here? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put some holes around the bottom while you go ahead and start yours. All right, now I put my holes all the way around here. Now when you get down to the corners, you're not going to be able to go all the way up the full distance of this, okay? You're going to go up to where about the middle of wherever your border is here. So you have to kind of gauge it a little bit, about an inch or so apart. If it's not perfect, don't worry about it. That's not the idea of it, okay? But here's the problem. When you get to the very top, well, how am I supposed to go across here? It's not long enough. You're going to have to go through both of them, okay? That's where you're only going to have holes on the inside. So let's go through both of them. I want you to watch. Now I can't go all the way in because it'll take it too far. So I'm going to go just to where I think it can go. That's going all the way through. Are you watching? I'm going to go one more on this end right here. All right, now what that did was it gave me holes on the inside. That's okay. That's all right. Don't worry about that. All right, but it's better that you didn't have them all the way around, or otherwise you'd have to be doing two things. You don't want to sew this card together either. You don't want to sew it together. So, next thing we need is the ribbon. And how much ribbon are we going to use? Well, it's got to go all the way around, right? It's got to go all the way around. So you might want to take your card, hold your ribbon here. Now, you know what? Give yourself a little extra because you're going to tie it, okay? About that much extra. All the way around. I'm gonna give myself a little extra. I'm gonna go about that much. Hope it's enough. Looking for my scissors now. Oh, here they are right here. So I'm gonna cut this off. Well, these scissors are not sharp. Not sharp at all. All right. So how much do I have? I'd say about almost 3 feet, almost a yard, almost a yard. So here's how we're gonna start this stuff. All right. Remember, don't put it through both of this. You're gonna sew it. So I'm going to put it from the inside, from the outside, I mean, inside here. Pull it all the way through and leave myself enough that I can tie it. Okay. Well, now what? Now we're gonna do in, out, in, out. So it's gonna come through there. You see right here? Now we're gonna come through this hole from the inside. So let's see if I can get it through the inside. Where's it at here? Go. All right, now what? Now we're gonna go in. Whoop, there's the hole right there. Let's go in that hole. And I'll show you what it's gonna look like as it goes around. You wanna try to keep your ribbon flat. Don't wanna twist it up. So if it does, then you could just untwist it real quick as you go along. You would hate to do this after you get it all the way done and try to untwist it. See how it's twisted up? All right, but, oh, we pulled it through. Now make sure you keep enough here. So let's untwist that. There it is, just like that. See how much is left? So if you have enough, you go ahead and go all the way around until you come down to this corner again, and I'll meet you there. All right? Okay, I'm back, and I hope that you're done sewing up your card. I know that you noticed a few things. The more holes that you made, the more sewing you got to do, right? So if you made a lot of holes, that's why I wanted you to stay about an inch or so apart, because if you made them too close, it's in and out, in and out, in and out. It looks pretty. It just takes a little bit longer time. Now, here might be one of your questions. What if I have too much here compared to the other one? Well, you can do two things. You can either cut the long one off, that's a shorter bow, or you can pull it all the way through just by tugging on this a little bit and tugging all the way around. Get it to where you want it. Get it to where you want it. So what are you going to do with these ends? There's a couple things that you can do. First of all, you can tie it in a bow, or you can tie it and you can string it. So I think I'm going to tie mine in a bow. Let's see how that goes. Okay, I tied mine in a bow. Here's what it looks like. Now, everything is pretty straight all the way around, and I want you to know this is what it looks like on the inside. So I didn't sew these together with these. That would have been bad. You wouldn't have been able to open the card. Somebody out there is going to do it. I just know it. And if you do, take it apart and do it again, because you want it to open up nicely. So here we have the card. We got our picture on there. We've cut all of our holes around. If you want to do this, now you don't have to do this. This is not a requirement, but it makes it look a lot prettier. And then we tied a bow on the edge. Now, what else could I do if I didn't want to tie a bow? Well, let me take a piece of this. I hope it works with this ribbon. Let's just say that this was the edge. I just take these scissors and I try to curl it up. This might not work because it's a little bit more. You could try to curl these a little bit and it'd be a little twistier. It doesn't look as nice for me, but for you, maybe you like it better. So it's all up to what you want to do. It's your card. All right, let's go to the next step. The next step is going to be using the words for the inside. So here's the old English words. I've got the word, and I've got the definition on what it means. And there's a couple of pages. All right, now I'm going to have this all on there for you so you can see it very easily. You can see what the words look like, and you can go through it and see which ones would be best for you. First thing we need to do is on the inside, we're going to have any picture here. It's up to you. If you want to draw a picture here, you can do that. Just something very easy like that one that we had here. Let's see. Like this young person did here. He drew a picture there. You can draw, go for it. Do it. It does make the card look a little bit nicer. I would suggest that you do this before you write anything inside the card because you only got one card. Take a piece of paper, maybe an extra piece here, and write what you want to write first in pencil. In pencil. Because you might want to erase it a couple times or write it over a couple times, but you want to get what you want to be written in the good card one time. One time, because you're going to write that in pencil and then you're going to go over it in ink. Okay? That way you'll know it looks nice. You don't want a bunch of erase marks on there. It doesn't look good. So let's start off, first of all, with a greeting. Can we say greetings? Can we say Merry Christmas? What else can you say? Dear? And by the way, who are we sending this card to? This card is to be given to somebody that loves you. That loves you. Mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, even brother or sister. That's right. So if you want to put my dearest mother and father, very proper, very proper. My dearest grandmother and grandfather, something like that. So unless you have endearment names for them, like grandma and papa, okay? So you write what you want to write, but the first word should be greetings, Merry Christmas, or dear, okay? After you write whoever it's from, you put a comma. You put a comma. So let's take a good example of what I had here before. Let me find that card here. Oh, where'd it go? Now I have to find that card. I think somebody took my card. Well, they couldn't have taken it because I'm sitting right here. Here it is. So we're going to put it, first of all, greetings. I put greetings on my card. Okay, that's the first one. So I'll probably put that on this one here too. Just greetings. And I'd like you to use cursive if you can. If you can use cursive, that would be great. If not, then write the way that you want to. But on that blank piece of paper, you're going to write something first. Okay, so maybe we'll write one together. And we'll start off with a pencil. There's another tool right here. So I'm going to write greetings, mother and father. Greetings, mother and father. And I just put a comma afterwards. Now, what's it look like if you write it in cursive? Mother and I know not the best handwriting, but that's my handwriting. So, greetings, mother and father. What can we put next? Well, you have to look through those words. You want a blessed Christmas? I pray thou hast. How about that? I pray thou hast. So, I pray thou, that means you, hast, which means has, a blessed Christmas. Just just like that. I wrote it in cursive. Make sure you put a period after that, okay? If you write this. Now, you write what you want to write. I'm just giving you an example. Just giving you an example. All right? I'm going to leave the rest up to you because we're going to go down to how do you end this? Sincerely, respectfully. You can put your most obedient son. I know you're laughing at me for that. Your most obedient daughter. You should be obedient. They're your mother and father, okay? Or your lovely sister, your lovely brother, your handsome brother. However you want to put it, it's something like that. Make it your own. Make it your own. Own it, okay? Own it. So I'm going to put respectfully yours. Respectfully yours. And then you sign your name. Sign your name. You don't need to sign your last name. I think they already know your last name. So you can sign your name there. And what a nice card that will be. What a nice card it will be. So once you've already written on here, I want you to go ahead and write it here. Any way that you want. Any way that you want. So that's the writing part. It's not very hard. It's not very hard, but I want you to get it right. Now, what if you want to put something up in the corner? Oh, like say this here. That's just a little bit of holly. Maybe you want to draw a tree. Maybe you want to draw a wreath or something like that. That is where your colored pencils come in handy, right? Your colored pencils come in handy. So you can draw it with a pencil, outline it in ink, and then use your colored pencils. You can also use your colored pencils if you want to color this a little bit. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? I'm going to try that. And we're just going to come in and color just a little bit of this to make it look a little bit more real. Okay, I'm done coloring just a little bit. Now, can you see any difference? I had some yellow in there, put some red around there. All the lights are yellow, and I also put a red line all the way around. I used some brown a little bit around the house there. So you can do that. You don't have to color it completely. Just highlight things. So I wanted to show you what I did inside. Now remember, I really can't draw as well as some of y'all can. This is just the beginnings. So all I did was I drew a couple of leaves. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh. That's the best I could do. So I'm going to color them in. Let's see what they look like. I'm going to color them in while you're right here. So we're just going to color a little bit of green. I did this all in pencil. Get it all in pencil so you'll see what it looks like. It's not that bad, is it? Now we got to put a few little red berries in there. Put 3 little red berries in there. Look at that. Now if I could do it, I know you could do it. Okay? So